Welcome back to FloTrack, everyone. Kevin Sully joined by Carl Lewis here for another race breakdown. And today we're going to look at Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in a Continental Tour race in Hungary. Carl, I'm going to hit play and let you break it down for us and tell us what you see.
Well, basically, knowing this, Shelly-Ann pushes and comes out really well, and that's what she's done consistently for years. But what Elaine's doing is just running relaxed. I mean, her race looks like one continuous race, and the thing is that we're trying to stay away from breaking the race down to drive phase, accelerate phase. No, it's supposed to be one continuous motion. It's just like if you are a car or something that's moving, you don't want to have stops and fits and starts. That's why in automobiles now, in race cars, they're using automatic transmission because it's better than shifting. So the difference right now in what she's doing is that she's just running relaxed all the way through, and she has such a rhythm in her race. Now, Shelly-Ann, I thought for years has done so well out of the blocks. She pushes, she does come up. See, a lot of times we talk about staying down, keeping your head down, driving. No, you have to come up and run. You can't run fast, bent over or looking down. So that's what she's done so well. So if you look at her race, she just basically pushes out, and as you see, they push out together, and then she comes up. See, Shelly-Ann's up, and then now they're turning over. You see Elaine here again, the same things. Look at the arms going all the way through, the elbow coming up, and hands coming through, just putting her feet down, because that's what it's about. See the hands coming up? Look at the arms straight right here. It's supposed to open on the way down, and then watch it close in the back. Look in the front. Thumbs to the eye, elbow to the sky. She's just running well, and she's putting her feet down and just running relaxed. That's what it's about. It's not rocket science. The reason she's running well is because she's healthy. She's running better. A few years ago, she used to reach more, but now she's putting her feet down. Her hands are coming up both sides, and that's the difference in a race, and that's what it is. And if you really think about it, if someone is going to run 52 steps in a race and someone else is going to run 54, it's easier to win if you're running 52. And so the taller, she has a definite advantage over Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Now, Shelly-Ann runs a really good race. She comes out of the block, she accelerates, she comes up and stays relaxed to the end. But it's really tough for someone who's like 4 or 5 inches taller than you. Right. Running less strides, running more relaxed to beat them at the end. And I think that's the difference, because Shelly-Ann's running great. It's just that Elaine's running faster.
I want to ask you about this last about 30 meters, because when you looked at the splits from the Olympics, where you have the advanced technology that allows you to go split by split, Thompson-Herah's last 30 was phenomenal, was running away from everybody. Is this just what you were talking about before, the continuation of the stuff she set up in the previous 70 meters doing the work?
See, what happens in the sprints, 100 meters, the whole objective is to create momentum. It's not about quickness and speed. Sprinting is power, push, patience. So you want to show power out of the blocks, push, and have the patience to let the stride go all the way through, because you're creating more power. You see, her stride doesn't change that much, and she's just able to do it because she set it up. The first 10 or 20 meters is where you set up the last 10 or 20 meters. So what you want to do is think of this concept, which I use all the time. If you're trying to push a car, you don't have a bunch of little steps. You have real deliberate, powerful steps to push. And because of that, it allows you to create the momentum. And then that momentum is what gets you. So all this, if someone gets a better start because they're behind, that's hogwash. What it's really about is the momentum you're trying to create in the beginning, and that comes from power. If you're going to go dunk a basketball, you don't run up and just jump quick steps. You actually take deliberate steps that gets bigger, longer, you push into the ground. If someone wants to throw a ball and you want to throw it farther, you don't just throw it quick. You do a wind up and you throw it. Why is it in track and field that we can't understand that you have to wind up and do the same motions to create power to run fast? We want to do things quickly. Well, that's against the principles that every other thing uses.
When you look at this time, 10:71, she would obviously go on to Tokyo, run 10:61, and then later run 10:05. When you look at this race, do you see things in here that really clearly hint at, okay, she can run 10:05?
Well, what happens is that you set all of it up, and I don't think it's stated enough how much the emotion of an event is. And so whether the stadium's empty or not, just the emotion of being in the Olympics makes a difference. So I think what she was doing here was just establishing her race plan. Because what I always say is, put together the race you want to duplicate. And so what she's doing here is putting together the race that she can duplicate. So then all of a sudden you're not worried about what happens. You're just running your own race. And so I saw this whole year, she looked the same every meet. And so she got into a rhythm and was able to run the race she wants. See, the thing is that what I see on the outside, it looks like to me, you know, she's obviously married now. She seems like she has more stability. She seems happier. And those are factors that are important because she had the injuries and she was, like I said, she was reaching before a little bit, but now with her hands coming up, her feet are coming down, she's running better. So I think these races are just setting it up. You're always going to run faster at the big meet. And it isn't always just because of the track. It's because when you're talking about 4 years or 5 years in their case of anticipation, and you're healthy and ready to go and confident, you're going to be phenomenal.
And for Shelly Ann, she obviously gets a lot of recognition because of the start. But you're saying here it's just a matter of stride length. Like she does everything right, but when you're going up against a taller athlete,
it's just tough. Really tough. It just is. I mean, we know that. It's funny because we look back and we talked about Usain, how tall he was. Well, let's just go back in history. Tommy Smith was taller than me, and I'm 6'3". So John Carlos was 6 feet. So the top sprinters have always been tall. And on the women's side, it's a little different because women, there are not as many super tall women. But the bottom line is that, you know, when it really comes down to it, it doesn't mean a shorter person can't run fast because Shelly Ann shows it and other male sprinters show it. But when it's all equal, the bigger person has an advantage.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Carl. Appreciate it.
Yep, you got it.